Imagine you are standing on the edge of a rooftop, 30 stories above the street. The wind is whipping against your face, howling in your ears. You step closer to the ledge. You look down at the tiny cars and the people moving like ants. And then, for a split second, you feel something terrifying. It's not just the fear of slipping. It is a sudden, inexplicable, insane urge to step off. Your heart hammers against your ribs. Your hands instantly sweat. Your body recoils, terrified by that impulse. You think, am I losing my mind? Why did I feel that? Science calls this phenomenon the call of the void. And here is the promise I'm making to you right now. You are not broken. That terrifying voice telling you to step closer is actually the only reason you are still alive today. But to understand why your brain tries to trick you, we have to peel back 2 million years of evolutionary history. We have to look at the software that runs your survival instincts, because your fear of heights isn't actually fear. It's a calculator. If your knees shake and your palms sweat when you're in a high place, you probably think it's a weakness. You might feel weak, but make no mistake, acrophobia is not a flaw. It is a brutal, ancient survival tool. To probe these, we have to go back to 1960, to a laboratory at Cornell University. Two psychologists, Eleanor Gibson and Richard Walk, asked a cruel but necessary question. Is the fear of falling something we learn as we grow up? Or are we born with it? Is it software we install, or is it hardwired into the motherboard? They created a device called the visual cliff. Imagine a large table. On one half, there is a solid checkerboard pattern. On the other half, there is a sheet of clear, strong glass with the same checkerboard pattern way down on the floor, creating the perfect optical illusion of a deep drop. They brought in dozens of infants. Babies just 6 months old, kids who had barely learned to crawl, kids who had never fallen off anything in their lives. Their mothers stood on the other side of the clear glass, calling them, encouraging them to cross the cliff with toys and smiles. The result was disturbing. The vast majority of the babies refused to cross. They would crawl right up to the edge where the pattern dropped away, look down into the abyss, and simply stop. Even with the glass supporting them, their instincts took over. They hesitated. They tested the surface, but they wouldn't trust it. They chose safety over their own mothers. This experiment wasn't just done on humans. They tested kittens, goats, and chicks. The result was always the same. This proved something fundamental. The fear of death isn't a trauma you pick up from a bad experience. It is an instinct that predates your ability to speak. Before you even know your own name, you know that gravity is a relentless force. So, we know the fear is natural, but that doesn't explain the physical sickness. Why do you get dizzy? Why does the room spin? Why do you feel like you're going to pass out when you look over a balcony? This is where things get technical. This is the glitch in your biological system. Your ability to balance is a complex negotiation between your eyes, your nerves, and your inner ear specifically. The vestibular system, usually, these three agree. Your eyes see the wall next to you. Your feet feel the solid ground. And the fluid in your inner ear tells you that you are standing upright. But when you stand on the edge of a canyon or a skyscraper, you break the machine. You look down, and suddenly, your eyes lose their reference point. There is nothing near you to focus on. The ground is too far away. Visually, your brain is receiving data that says you are floating or flying. But your inner ear says, no, we are standing still on concrete. This is a massive data conflict. It's a system error. Your brain doesn't know how to reconcile the fact that you are seeing movement but feeling stillness. So, it panics. It assumes the most logical, biological explanation for a sensory mismatch. Hallucination due to ingestion of a toxin. Throughout history, if your eyes and ears disagreed, it usually meant you had eaten a poisonous berry or a toxic mushroom. So, your brain triggers a defense mechanism. It makes you nauseous to purge the toxin, and it induces vertigo dizziness. Because if you are dizzy, you fall down. And if you are lying flat on the ground, you can't fall off the cliff. That dizziness isn't the problem. It's the solution. Your body is trying to tackle you to the ground. To save your life, now, broaden the scope. Think about the timeline of humanity. For 99% of our history, we didn't have guardrails. We didn't have safety harnesses or glass windows. A fall meant the end. Period. There were no second chances in the Paleolithic era. Imagine two tribesmen 200,000 years ago. One has a genetic mutation that makes him fearless. He walks right up to the edge of the waterfall to get a better look. He feels no anxiety. The other tribesman is paranoid. He stays back, trembling, hugging the rocks. One slippery rock later, the brave man is gone. He didn't pass on his genes. The paranoid man survived. He had children, and those children inherited his paranoia. Repeat this cycle for thousands of generations. And you end up with us. We are the children of the cautious. We are the descendants of the people who were absolutely terrified of the edge. Your anxiety in high places is literally the ghost of a million survivors whispering in your ear. Don't do it. But we still haven't answered the biggest question. The dark question. If evolution designed us to stay away from the edge, why do so many of us feel that sudden magnetic pull to step off? Why does the call of the void exist? This is where the high place phenomenon comes in. A study from Florida State University finally cracked this code. And the answer is fascinating. They found that the people who feel this urge the strongest are actually the people with the highest anxiety and the strongest survival instincts. It sounds contradictory, but listen closely. When you step near the ledge, your survival system, the amygdala, the lizard brain, detects the threat instantly, faster than you can blink. It screams, danger, and sends a high-voltage signal to your muscles to recoil, to lean back, to freeze. But your conscious brain, the logical part that makes you human, is slower. It has a lag. By the time your conscious mind processes the scene, your body has already reacted. You are already leaning back or clutching the rail. Your conscious brain gets confused. It asks, wait, why did I just jerk back? Why is my heart pounding? The guardrail is right there. I am totally safe. To make sense of this massive physical reaction, in a situation that is technically safe, your brain fabricates a reason. It hallucinates an intention. It thinks, I must have pulled back because I was about to go over. It interprets the safety signal as a fatal intention. Let that sink in. You never wanted to step off. Not for a second. Your survival instinct is simply so violent, so fast, and so powerful that your conscious mind misunderstood it. You didn't want it to end. You wanted to live so badly that your brain got confused. So, the next time you are up high, and the world starts to spin, and you hear that little voice suggesting you step closer, take a breath. Don't be afraid of the voice. Acknowledge it. That voice is just your internal security system running a drill. It is the proof that your biological machinery is working perfectly. You are designed to survive. The fear is the fuel. And that dark urge, it is simply the voice of your ancestors forcing you to survive. So, respect that fear. When you look down and the world starts to spin, don't fight the vertigo. Embrace it. That dizziness is simply your body's way of screaming, I am not ready to leave this world yet. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt that sudden magnetic pull to step off the ledge? Or does the height just make you freeze? Tell me your story in the comments below. And if you want to explore the other dark corners of your psychology, make sure to subscribe. There are many more fears we need to decode. I will see you on the ground.